Welcome to Fatherfog, the Fairytale Horror RPG where you and your fellow party members try to survive in a world where fairy tales, as you know them, exist in their full horror. Cautionary folklore holds more truth than tale, and your knowledge of these stories may hurt your chances of survival as much as help. After generations of isolation, you're among the few brave enough to venture into the fog, away from the relative safety of the only village you have ever known. Your quest: find the dying resource most important to your home. Hope. Hello, and welcome to Wake The Bugbear. My name is Andrew, your guide for this evening. I am joined again by the 4 players from last time. John.
You know, some weddings that are described as fairy tale weddings end in horror. Case in point, Elvis and Priscilla.
Stephen.
Hey. Why always got to follow up John?
I don't know, you're next to John physically. Andrew.
Hello everyone, I am also here. I don't have any fun facts about weddings and marriages, sorry.
And Sam, recently wedded.
It's been like it's close to a year now, actually. That's weird.
Congratulations.
8 months.
Yeah. Which is strange and scary. But hey, I'm Sam.
Welcome to Fatherfog, the Fairytale Horror RPG, written by Alan Girding and published by Tuesday Night Games. You may be familiar with their other game, Mothership, the sci-fi horror RPG. We are back again, and we have a nice big thank you to Doug, who stood us up again as we're 2 weeks after the last recording where he has cancelled late, and we're here again.
Thanks,
To be clear, this is not the same session. We didn't play another session in the same evening of Fatherfog. This is the second week in a row.
This is 2 weeks after the same scheduled session where we had confirmation last night that everything was okay.
Even via a GIF, which I feel like is the strongest confirmation that you can receive from a person, really.
Yes.
Outside of a blood oath.
A comedic GIF is the millennial sign of confirmation. And that's what we have to deal with our generation. Well, I think he's a Zoomer. Is he a Zoomer? John?
Nah.
Is our resident Zoomer.
I'm barely a Zoomer. I'm on the board. I was born 99. I think you have to be born 99 or 2000 to be a Zoomer.
So yeah, you're right there.
But he's not. He was born before me I think by a reasonable amount.
He's a filthy millennial. All right. Well, what can we possibly do with another session of Fatherfog? There's a few things we missed last time on our little character creation, which was evident when we tried to play the game at the end. We are going to go through the how to play section this time and teach ourselves and maybe some of you listeners out there listening how to play this game. Shall we begin?
Yes, let's get into it.
Oh, yeah.
Then let us begin. Let us go to the chapters of Fatherfog. We have done the introduction. We have done character creation. If you would like to see that video, please head on to our channel on YouTube and see a nice read-through and graphical artwork that John drew. Very nice, John. Wasn't it?
Thank you, everyone. You know, Andrew is a little bit like some of the homeless people here in Perth are pretty audacious. And multiple times I've had a homeless person ask me for a bit of money.
I've got the mute button on standby, Sam.
And so I'll say, yeah, I can give you a bit of money. And they say, can I have $50? It's like, ooh, that's a little bit steep, but there's a machine over here. And then they say, can I have 70? Can I have 100? That's what Andrew does, where he's like, oh, I might do John, can you do a little thing for Fatherfog? And then he's like, oh, can you draw this whole background? And I said, no.
Yes, thanks for that, John. Good analogy.
Was wondering where that was going.
I couldn't have guessed where that was going at all.
We have the table of contents we're looking at. We have done the introduction. We have gone through most of character creation last time, which was the character creation steps, the 4 classes, the cloaks, the brooch, the trinkets, the coin, and we didn't go to equipment yet. But we will. We'll come back to that. What we're mainly focused on this episode is Chapter 3, How to Play, page 25. Shall we begin? Let's scroll down.
Let's find out how badly we botched it last time.
I mean, we followed the book. How badly could we have botched it? Oh, you mean when we were just flying by the seat of our pants and having a stab at it, actually doing it?
It says right there, when playing Fatherfog, you must only speak in Old English these and thous. Oh no.
That's what we missed out on.
I know I should have watched The Witch before we came and played this game.
'Tis fine. Thee canst do that.
You definitely should have known that.
You mean the
time, but with a Y.
It's actually a tremendous taboo to not watch every Robert Eggers film before you play this game.
Is that the Vivitch
Yeah.
by Eggers?
Yeah. Werewolf is going to come out.
Thou love the taste of butter?
Yeah.
Wouldst thou like it to live?
Thine does enjoyeth the taste of butter. John, stop clearing your throat when we're talking mid-speech.
When Robert Eggers' Werewolf comes out, it's going to cause a lot of fuel for this RPG.
All right, let us begin. How to Play, Chapter 3. An angel in long white garments, with wings that reached from his shoulders down to the earth. His countenance?
Countenance.
His countenance was grave and stern, and in his hand he held a sword. Thou shalt dance, said he. Dance in thy red shoes till thou art pale and cold, till thy skin shrivels up and thou art a skeleton. She danced away over field and meadow, through rain and sunshine, by night and by day, but it was most dreadful by night. She danced until she found the executioner and begged him to cut off her feet. He struck off her feet in the red shoes, and the shoes danced away with the little feet across the field into the deep forest. The red shoes. Fatherfog is a tabletop role-playing game, a collaborative storytelling experience. You and your friends take on the role of a party of characters, while one of you, the guide, prepares and runs scenarios. When faced with encounters and dilemmas, you must decide what your character will do. You and your fellow party members ask questions, make choices, and roll dice to reveal results and consequences. Death is likely, but should be fair. Sam's looking at me. I'm just reading the text in the book, Sam. I'm not putting any of my personal feelings. Yet.
Just like with any RPG game, the rules say one thing, how you as a group play it is another thing.
Yes, I do have some qualms, but we'll get there.
We'll do the traditional airing of grievances after
Yes.
we get through the table.
You can attempt to do anything you want. Ask a lot of questions to learn as much as you can. Roll stat checks when you attempt to do anything risky. Roll saves when you react to potential dangers. See stat checks and saves on page 27.
Let's put this into perspective with the asking question thing for a second.
I said, John, I was...
Okay, I have a good bit, so
Yes.
just remind me when we get there.
So
Look
roll,
at you, eager beaver.
roll stat checks when you attempt to do something risky. Andrew, I believe Ambrose tried to sleight of hand his manacles off
Indeed.
in our little scene in the end of last episode. So you correctly rolled a stat check
Yeah.
because it was risky, and I assume you succeeded.
He did indeed.
And you described the success, which was very good. All without prompting, mind you, without
Huzzah.
question.
Well, it was a minor hiccup, but we got there in the
There was a
end.
little question, but you got chastised for it by Sam. Thank you, Sam.
It's all right. I've been through this before.
Yes.
It's okay.
So when we want to do something, it is advising us to, that's when you roll, much like Mothership, only when there's something risky or there's stakes, I'm guessing. Then we have roll saves. This is reacting to potential dangers. We're all familiar with that. If something's happening to you, then it would be a save. If you're happening to it, it's a stat check, right?
Fairly simple.
That's an interesting way to put it. If it's happening to you, it's a save. And if you're happening to it, it's a check.
Yeah.
Words to live by.
Anytime you fail a stat check or save, you lose either hope or health. By default, you lose 1 hope, but your guide may ask you to alter this. So assuming if you failed your check, Andrew, you would have taken 1 hope. You lose 1 hope.
Could I have chosen to lose a health and dislocated a thumb to slip through the manacles? Can we go that
I'm
far
not
in this game?
sure. We may, as a table convention, go with that. It is player trust is a very integral thing that we deal with. So
I feel like it makes sense if you're doing checks that involve physical activities to lose health instead of hope. But I don't know enough about how the game plays to know if that's
would
worth
that
it.
affect balance? How easy is healing? Things
Yeah.
like that. Because healing might be very quick after
Yeah.
out of risky situations.
And
so
it might be very hard to get your hope back, so
Mm.
you don't want to. You want to keep it balanced, like you said.
correct. Roll a hope save when you experience a horrific event, or roll a critical failure. So much like Mothership, with stress, you'll have a hope save, which is more like a panic save, I'm guessing. To see if you fail. If you fail, you despair. So panic has been switched to despair.
Well, I think, panic is despair and hope is stress, right?
Correct.
Except you now need to roll under your stress. Or you need to roll under your hope score. Unlike in Mothership where you're rolling over your stress, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's no D20s, I believe.
Cool.
But you do start at 100,
Yes,
so
goes down. For more information, see Hope and Despair on page 28. We'll keep going with this. Lose health when you get hurt. If you lose all your health, death visits you. See Combat on page 34. So John, you were bashed. Your character, Cinder, was bashed through the bars and you would have lost some health. I would have rolled perhaps a D10 for that and you have subtracted that from your health, correct?
Yes.
So you can expect to be a little bit hurt when we next play.
I don't know how much I lost there.
No.
Not yet.
Let's
find out.
I think, we got to figure out like the scale, right? How does it work normally?
Yeah, what's a normal attack?
Does
We'll
it
find
cover?
that out.
Yeah, I was wondering if it would cover that, like how much damage a club
It
does
will
or
if-
whatever.
It will if you be patient, Sam.
I'm just asking. I'm following up on the
Be
question.
patient. Just be patient. Stop being crazy. Okay, listen.
You're
calm
being
down.
emotional,
You're
okay?
being emotional. What is it? Is it that time again?
I believe the word is hysteria.
You're being hysterical.
Yeah, that's it.
Sam, did you pick up you were the butt monkey of last episode?
I feel like anytime
transferred to you.
It did transfer to me, and that's okay. That's all right. I can give as good as I get. Just remember, we've all signed this social contract now, where I've become the butt monkey, and I will butt monkeyfy whoever I choose.
Yes. You can dub thy butt monkey follower at any moment. Here we go. We are onto dice now. Page 26. Collective storytelling requires instruments of uncertainty and risk. Dice are not merely randomizers, but also the tools of drama and the adjudicators of contested outcomes. Fatherfog uses a pair of 10-sided dice that are player-facing, which mean only you roll the dice. The guide is not here to roll dice. There you go. Your guide never rolls the dice. Here's how the dice are used and noted.
What?
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 XD10 means you roll a number of 10-sided dice. For example, 1d10, 3d10, and add the result of each rolled dice together. 1d100 means to roll a pair of 10-sided dice. One die represents the tens digit and the other represents the ones digit. Example, if you roll a 90 and a 9, the roll equals 99. If you roll a 0, 0 and a 0, that equals a roll of 0. So
That's nostalgic.
This is the take note of that, Sam.
Yes,
All
I'm storing it in my brain.
So this is the same as Mothership, whereas it is a 0 to 99 system, not a 1 to 100 system. So just keep that in mind. If you see a plus after a roll, that means that the roll has advantage, while a minus means the roll has disadvantage. See advantage and disadvantage below. We will scroll up a bit. We have the bit system. John, would you like to read a bit system passage?
The bit system is designed to help condense your dice rolls. A bit provides a number between 0 and 9. A bit is simply the ones place in any D100 roll. So if you roll a 94, it is 4 bits. A roll of 20 is 0 bits. 20. Most often, The guide will call for you to succeed a mind save when confronting something potentially horrific, or lose a bit of hope. So you roll D100, and it's like, oh, I rolled 86. I got 6 bits. Little bits. Little bits. Come down to little bits.
And I guess that would be if you failed the number of bits is
How
much hope you lose.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
That means there's no interaction between the guide needing to tell you how much you've lost. It would just be you lose a bit of hope. Your responsibility as the player is to subtract that yourself, do your own calculation, and go on from there. Example, Noriel failed his mind save when he rolled a 73, so he lost 3 bits of hope. Elle failed her mind save when she rolled a 60, but she didn't lose any hope because she rolled 0 bits. Bathsheba also doesn't lose any hope because they rolled a 29 under their 32 mind save value, which is a success. My son, would you like an apple? The stepmother said as she looked at him full of hatred. The evil one made her speak kindly to him so that he may fall for her ruse. Mother, said the little boy, how strange and wild you look. Please give me an apple. She lifted the lid to the chest and said, You can pick your own apple. And as the little boy leaned in, the evil one spoke in her ear. Crunch! She slammed the lid shut so that his head flew off and rolled among the red apples. The juniper tree. What a lovely fairy tale.
So yoked grandma.
Shabam! In the chest. Advantage and disadvantage. Survival rarely belongs to the strongest. Instead, it belongs to those wise enough to recognize when odds shift. Position, preparation, timing, and leverage can all tilt the scales of fate towards advantage. Fatigue, injury, miscalculation, and the surprise of chaos can drag you towards disadvantage. So, Andrew, as Ambrose was sleight of handing the manacles off, would have liked to heard more of how you were doing that mechanically as a description versus I use sleight of hand and the manacles are off.
Yep.
You could say my wrists being thin and gaunt, twist and bleed as I wriggle out, things like that. And my job as a guide would be to add a disadvantage or advantage to that. So I probably might have given you disadvantage because you don't have any tools with you, and it's just like twisting, trying to contort. But if you say you had a hairpin or things like that, that sort of thing would give you advantage, I'm guessing, or make it possible in the first not have a disadvantage.
Cool.
Sound fair?
I think that works very well.
Advantage. Whenever you are making a roll of any kind and you have the upper hand in a situation, assistance from someone else, etc., roll twice and take the most helpful. So that's taking the most helpful result, not necessarily the highest number. So an example, a body save with advantage means make 2 body save rolls and take the best of the 2 rolls. Andrew, you can read out disadvantage.
When in the handicapped situation, such as bad visibility, being surprised, or low to the ground, roll twice and take the most harmful result. For example, Adam rolls a will check at disadvantage. His first roll is a 98, a failure. His second roll is a 44, a critical failure. He takes the 44 as his roll because it is more harmful of the 2 rolls.
If you ever have both advantage and disadvantage, they cancel each other out and you roll as normal. That's all pretty self-explanatory. That is the same how it works in Mothership, which is also the panic system. And we will continue on to page 27. Stat checks and saves. Sam!
Every character has 3 stats and 3 saves. These represent your character's ability to attempt an action or react to an event, respectively. No stat or save can exceed a base value of 75. If any stat or save value is ever reduced to 0, your character dies and death takes them away.
So in Mothership, I believe 80 or 85 is the maximum stat value you can have. This is to stop androids bumping their fear save up to 95 or something, in some cases.
Yeah, right.
So they've... Anything over 90, I think, is a direct fail. So they've changed that. You guys don't have any characters. Your stats weren't that high, were they?
I got a 52 for strength. That's with all the bonuses and whatnot.
That's fine. It's the base value, not the added.
Yeah. But I mean, I kind of don't understand how the base value could be anything even close to that, really.
40. Strangers get 40 to mind.
Yeah, I've got 66 mind.
So he's quite close.
Okay. Yep.
Moving on to stats. Stats represent your character's ability to act when failure brings consequences. The average stat for a healthy adult is 30. Stephen's shaking his head.
Yeah,
Your average stat is not 30, is it?
it is because I got a 45 in strength, but if I didn't, possibly not.
Yes. The 3 stats and their uses are, here we go, pay attention. Strength, moving a heavy object, carrying a fallen party member, arm wrestling, etc. Note, your strength is also your maximum health, meaning you can never have more health than your strength stat. I believe we all have that on our sheets.
Yes.
Intellect, remembering your training, remember your training while under duress, reasoning and arriving at conclusions, etc. And finally, will. Beyond the pure physical and mental is your drive, effort, passion, and want. Any questions?
No, that's all pretty self-explanatory.
It is.
Very clear.
So to be clear, just because you have high strength doesn't mean that you can always add it to a fight, because it doesn't list it as one of the examples, I would assume. Otherwise you could try to cheese it.
I think it depends on what kind of action you're taking as part of the fight. It might apply.
It says arm wrestling, so
Yeah.
that's wrestling, fighting,
Yeah, but
punching.
that's not the same thing as fighting.
Well, fighting says it can use strength or will.
Oh, good.
So I'm
fighting's
guessing depends on the situation.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that's good. Stat checks. Whenever you want to do something and the price for failure is high, roll 1d100 and attempt to roll less than your most relevant stat. This is called a stat check. If you roll less than your stat, you succeed. If you roll equal to or higher than your stat, you fail. Failure, by default, causes the loss of 1 hope. However, your guide may alter this to lose more hope or even health. So I'm going to say, if you fail a check, you will always lose 1 hope. But it may be that you also lose health in equal amounts.
I like that.
Yeah, just so we've got it in our heads that failure means 1 hope or more loss.
But I thought that you'd lose bits.
That's what I was about to
I
ask.
think that's crits.
No, I don't think so. Because there was an example
Or it
given of
depends.
94.
It depends, I guess, on the severity.
I believe this goes into, let's go
Like
back
the
up
guide
to
can
page...
say you'll lose a bit of a bit of hope, and then you would apply that.
It applies anytime there's any D100 roll.
Is it optional?
The bit system is designed to help condense your dice rolls. A bit provides a number between 0 and 9. A bit is simply the ones placed in any D100 roll. So if you roll a 94, it is 4 bits. A roll of 20 is 0 bits. Most often, the guide will call for you to succeed a mind save or lose a bit of hope.
Yeah, and then in the example, it's got somebody failing, right? So it says that Elle failed her mind save when she rolled a 60, but she didn't lose any hope because she rolled 0 bits.
Yes.
So then how...
That's a failed save, isn't it?
Yeah, so then, but she doesn't lose any hope, so there's not a default loss of 1 hope.
I think the difference here is that this is something the guide calls for. So the player-facing roll. So when we roll stat checks or save checks, we're rolling them for ourselves. If we fail, we take 1 hope or 1 health. We'll take 1 hope and potentially 1 health. However, throughout the game, the guide can call for a bit check. And that in that instance, we then roll in response to that request from the guide, with the potentiality of losing more than 1 hope.
I'm assuming it's like, it says when confronting something potentially horrific, like when you would ask us to do like
Fear save.
a fear save before combat, you could say you're going to everyone take a mind, or like you need to do a mind save and you'll lose a bit of hope.
A bit of hope, okay.
And then you would take the extra. You would use the
The
bit
only
system.
confusion is if they fail that save, do they also take the 1 minus?
I'm going to assume it's not.
Because it says, this is the part that I'm wondering about, because in that example, it's a failed save and it doesn't state that
It says they lose
don't
nothing.
lose any hope.
Mhm.
It's so instead of it being you might, if you fail a regular stat or save, you lose 1 hope. In this instance, you have the potentiality of losing anywhere between 1 and 9 if you fail the check.
I think it's not
just
as
like a
clear,
heavier
but we can.
loaded-
The good news is this is the 0 edition, and the
Yeah.
developers are accepting feedback. So we will definitely write that down on the things
Yeah.
to get clarity.
I think maybe it's good, and this is maybe just a suggestion, rather than the default always being, I mean, I guess we can talk about it as a table and how you want to run it as a guide, right?
Mhm.
Would you rather run bit system or just the default and then add the bit system depending on whatever happens?
I won't make any decision yet until we've read the whole thing,
Yeah.
and then we'll
Play the
say
bit
how
as well.
we might do it. And also, we will pass on that particular feedback for clarity.
Yeah, perfect.
Because potentially, if you roll 9 on 10 checks, you've lost all your hope. Like,
Yeah.
so it could be very punishing to use the bit system for everything, but it might be fine. We just have to experience the game to find out.
Let's go. So we finished on.
We've done stat checks.
We've done stat checks. We're on to saves on page 27, returning now. Saves represent your character's ability to withstand different kinds of trauma. The average save for a healthy adult is 25. The 3 saves and their uses are... Andrew?
Body. Resist hunger, fight disease, prevent addiction and fend off wounds, etc. The higher your body save, the more likely death will barter with you rather than take you outright.
That's pretty good.
Mm.
I like that.
That's cool.
Mind. Maintain a level head whilst facing fear, chaos, emotions, or any challenge to your mental state. And lastly is spirit. Employ quick reflexes to avoid threats. Grab a ledge whilst falling, or landing gracefully, etc.
So body, mind, and spirit are the 3 saves. Save rolls.
To avoid certain dangers, you may need to roll a D100. This is called rolling a save. If you roll less than your relevant save, you succeed. Otherwise, you fail. Failure by default causes the loss of 1 hope. However, your guide may alter this to lose more hope or even health. Unlike stats, which are proactive and attempted by choice, you will only roll a save reactively to danger. That answers the previous question, I think.
So when the guide calls for it specifically, they will say you lose a bit of hope. And in that instance,
It's the ones on the 100.
you lose more. You would lose
It's
a bit.
always going to be 1, but there'll be calls for the bit.
Yes.
Got it.
So when the call's for the bit, you lose a bit of hope. Instead of, like, if something's particularly bad, I will call for a mind save as this creature bursts out, and you would lose a bit of hope on a failure. And you guys can...
Yeah. And then, like, potentially if your character, you've rolled a 0 on it, then you've faced the challenge bravely and you don't lose any hope.
Yeah. Yep, that's clear to me, I think. So, yeah, however, your guide may alter this to lose more hope or even health. Unlike stats, which are proactive and attempted by choice, you will only roll a save reactively to danger. Okay? Modifying stat checks and saves. There are 3 ways the outcome of a stat check or save can be modified: advantage and disadvantage, criticals, and skills. Advantage and disadvantage. See advantage and disadvantage on previous page. Criticals. Anytime you roll doubles on a D100 roll for a stat check or save, your roll is a critical. If the roll is a success, it is a critical success. However, if the result was a failure, it is a critical failure. A roll of 00 is always a critical success, and a roll of 99 is always a critical failure. Critical failures always lead to a hope save. Hope and despair. So yes, that's like panicking. So if you critically fail, you have to roll a hope save. Skills. If you have a skill that is relevant to the task at hand, you can add the skills bonus to your stat or save before making your roll. This provides a higher number to roll less than. See skills on page 29. So that's adding your skill points. Your skills being say if you got athletics, is that a skill? Yes.
It's like mosh, basically. That's what we're saying.
Yeah, you add that skill to the roll as a modifier, and you still have to roll under. So it's looking like the guide still calls for the hand, Sam?
So, sorry to clarify, you don't add your skill to the roll. You add your skill to what you're trying to roll under.
Correct. The
Okay,
target
I just wanted to clarify that because for a second when you said add your skill to your roll, but you still try to roll under, adding a skill makes it harder for you to succeed.
Yeah.
But okay, that makes sense. Yep, I'm with you. I follow.
Mm-hmm. So it just makes your target number higher.
Right.
So that is page 27. That is the stat checks and saves. I think we've all got that. There's just one thing is when you're expected to roll for these things, and if it needs the guide to, or that you're assuming that something's risky.
Yeah. It is, yeah, the way that it's written is that all saves are called for by the guide.
But all stat checks are our decisions.
Are proactive.
But then I'm not sure if the general goal is to roll low amounts, similar to Mothership. Only roll when there's risk.
Right.
But the character might not know if there's a risk or not, so they might miss out, and I guess that's when the guide will call for a check. Yes.
Interesting, though, that it did say you can add your skills to saves, which I don't think is the same in Mothership.
Yeah, it is.
I've never added a skill to my
Because you're
Any
dumb.
check or save, you can do it.
Well, I didn't know that.
And you could have saved yourself a lot of trouble. But
You
then
can add military training to everything.
Yeah.
a lot of your characters haven't suffered as much. Oh, we won't spoil that. I don't think it's encountered, but yes, you can aid
I
skills
don't think
to
it's really
saves
mattered to me, but
in Mothership. Moving on to Hope and Despair. 28, page 28. The unknown horrors from within the fog affect everyone. Hope is your most valuable resource and your primary defense against despair, a fate often worse than death. The less hope you have, the more likely you are to succumb to despair when witnessing something devastating.
How do I lose hope?
I don't know, John.
You can lose hope in several ways. Automatically. Certain events automatically cause you to lose hope. Your guide will let you know how much and when to lose hope. Failing checks and saves. Anytime you fail a stat check or a save, you lose one hope. Horror and or dread. When you witness or learn something horrific, your guide may ask you to succeed a mind save or lose a bit of hope.
So it sounds like a mind save from the guide is like a panic. That's when you're affected by something, it's scary, and that's when you can lose more hope.
I guess mind saves like a... Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that checks, yeah.
Sounds right. Because you've got body, mind, and spirit.
It's
So
cool.
mind is maintaining a level head when facing fear, chaos, and emotions, or challenge to your mental state. So I'm guessing that's when the guide calls for mind saves, and that's when you lose bits. And I will prompt that.
Depression, the RPG.
Yes.
But the loss of bits would apply to any save, right?
only
Potentially,
only
when called
mind
for.
fights. Well, if
No, I think that's just the
if
example.
the guide calls for it, but it's looks like specifically
Mind
mind
save.
saves are usually lose a bit of hope when
Mhm.
it's in regards to horror or dread.
Because it's not listing it as example, it's listed as actual text. So it's mind save or lose a bit of hope is when it becomes relevant. So that's like a panic check.
But like potentially to like figure something out using your mind, you would probably just do unless there's a stressful situation.
yeah,
Well, no, that's not a check.
but it also
It's
says
intellect. It'll be
Yeah.
intellect, yeah.
it also says directly above what we just read, failing checks and saves.
Yes.
Anytime you fail a stat check or a save, you lose one hope.
Yeah, you lose
Yeah,
one.
because that's the
But
standard.
a mind save,
Is the exception.
I don't know. I feel like my logic is telling me that it would apply universally to all of them. Otherwise, it's needlessly complicated to only have you lose a bit of hope only in the case of a mind save.
I think
it's if the guide calls for a mind save against, it's like he's only going to call the mind save in that instance when we've seen something of horror or dread. It's
Yeah.
like a panic check.
Yeah.
So in any instance, the default is you lose one hope for a failed check, because we decide when we roll stat checks. If it's a save, that's something the guide tells us to do, and the guide will either tell us to just roll it normal, or he'll say, but this is to lose a bit of hope, in which case you're either rolling the save and losing 1 hope as default, or gambling and losing 0 to 9.
Okay.
This is like a panic check, so it only applies when it's called for. It's like the extra beat stick.
It's not on the table, but it's like a panic check.
Okay.
I think.
How do I regain hope, you may ask? Loss of hope is expected when venturing into the fog. Regaining hope can be done in a number of ways. Resting. Sleeping is the most common way to regain hope. See Rest and Improvement on page 32. We'll get there. Medicinal herbs. Ambrose, you took a medical kit.
Yes.
There are specific plants that when consumed quickly and greatly aid in the recovery of health and hope by immediately granting a bit of hope and health. Due to the potency of medicinal herbs, consuming more than one within 24 hours requires a body save. Failure results in addiction.
Oh, great. Ambrose has 3.
So this is like the
Stim pack.
The drug mechanic.
/ whatever the other one to...
But death is not the drawback, it's addiction.
Yeah, do you remember Snow White and the 7 Dwarves? One of them is Tweaky, the one who's addicted to the hope leaf.
Scabby,
Sniffy.
Scabby,
Scratchy.
Sniffy, Scratchy.
I can't wait for one of us to get addicted to like death cap.
Sorry.
Oh my god.
Andrew,
What?
cut that.
Bleep that out. If we get it, one of us is going to get addicted to like death cap, mushroom, beef Wellington.
This is glaringly a mosh mechanic and not a Grimm's fairy tale mechanic. That's all I'm saying.
Or getting addicted.
Yeah.
Don't a lot of the characters overconsume on things and turn into things?
Well,
They gorge on food and get turned into pigs.
Or baked in an oven.
Yes. They're greedy little children. There you go.
I'm not complaining. I'm just saying.
Yes. Comfort. When there is comfort, there is hope, wherever you can find it. This can include eating good food, listening to music, spending time with friends, seeking counsel, and succeeding at a difficult task. At difficult tasks. Despair. When you fail a hope save, see what a hope save is in the next column, you gain as much hope as the amount you rolled.
What?
Sam is holding her head.
The part that's breaking my brain is it says when you fail a hope save, you gain as much hope as you rolled.
Yes. Example, you fail a hope save with a 1d100 roll of 52. Regain up to 52 hope.
Why are we regaining hope on a failed
we
save?
don't know what we roll a hope save for yet. It
We'll
could
find
be
out.
when
We'll
something
find out.
really bad is happening to you.
So we gain hope when something really bad is happening to us?
We will find out
Let's
when
see.
we read it.
Let's see.
Just wait. They chopped her to me.
That's the sound she made.
Don't point it out. They chopped her in pieces and set the table with her flesh. The robber bridegroom. Here we go, Sam. What is a hope save?
Read it, Sam.
Read it, Sam.
Okay. Losing hope.
Read it.
specifically
Read it and understand it.
Losing hope represents the emotional wear and tear you endure. This can eventually bring you to your breaking point where despair potentially overtakes you. When threatened by despair, roll a hope save just as you would any other save. If you do roll less than your hope, you succeed and do not despair. If you do not roll less than your hope, gain hope up to the amount you rolled, but never more than your maximum hope. Or you despair. Tell your guide...
Doesn't say or.
Sorry. But there's only 2 options if you roll less than your hope.
You get both.
Oh, okay, wait. If you do not roll less than your hope, gain hope up to the amount you rolled, but never more than your maximum hope.
So
Let her finish.
You despair. Tell your guide the exact result of your hope save. Many despair effects are private, so your guide will inform you of the result.
So it's mitigating it.
Okay, so this still, as I was promised, does not explain to me
I think-
why you gain hope when you fail.
I think it's mitigating the disaster. So when you despair, to avoid you from just... Because despair doesn't mean the end. It's like a panic. You get a despair effect. When you run out of hope completely, that's when your character ends. But you can despair with a certain amount of hope still left. It's just a panic, the equivalent to a panic. You can go into despair mode. So I think it gives you hope back to avoid it from being a feedback loop.
Yeah.
It resets your hope meter somewhat. So
But you get a negative effect.
I think that's why.
Yeah, which I think is coming up in the next part.
Yes.
And some of them are bad.
It's the serotonin release from.
Yes.
I have to cut that as well. Speaking of when do I roll a hope save? Your guide will typically tell you when you must roll a hope save. Here are a few common situations. Critical failure. Rolling a critical failure on a save or stat check. This is instances where the player would know it's coming, so you don't have to be asked or told. Death. Witnessing someone's death. Also something the player can proactively do. Horror. Both guide and player can do this, based on if it's really horrific. The guide may prompt this anyway. Hopelessness. If your hope ever reaches 0, all your situation seems futile. Falling prey. If you witness a hunter fail a hope save, that's the was trait?
It's
Class
the
trait.
marine thing.
Class trait, yes. So before we move on, is there any questions, Sam? You're looking at me. I know it's
This doesn't look okay. This actually doesn't answer. I'm just the type of person who needs to understand things. It needs to click in my brain for me to be like, oh yeah, cool. And this doesn't actually explain to me logically how if you fail at something, you gain the stat. I know that when you fail a check in Mothership, this is what I'm relating it to. When you fail a check in Mothership, you gain a stress, right? But you gain 1 stress, and that amount of stress relates directly to how likely it is that you might panic.
yeah, so this is the same as like a panic check in Mothership with a separate sort of mechanic. So a despair roll,
This is on a hope save.
yes.
You gain that much hope.
But you're going to suffer. See, it says your despair effects are private, so your guide
But that's
will
different.
inform you of the results. If you're a guide, see despair. So if you do not roll less than your hope, you gain hope back, but you get a despair effect
as well.
Always.
always. If you fail, if you succeed, you keep your hope as what it is, and you continue on. But
If you fail, you become more hopeful.
But here-
get hope back.
this is what's happened.
To stop a negative feedback loop of being on 0 hope and then constantly failing.
You have a despair orgasm
I've got
This
I
is
got
despair
it.
gas.
and recuperate.
I've got it, Sam.
Okay.
During the game, things will reduce your hope.
Yes.
That's your maximum hope. So it's going down, it's going down, it's going down, right?
But it won't reduce your maximum. It'll just reduce the hope that you're at, right? Your maximum will still be 100 or whatever it is.
But never more than your maximum hope. So you can't,
Start with 100 hope.
yeah, and then you're at 50 and you despair and you roll 60. You can't get 60 hope.
No, what it's saying
You
is
can't
that
go to
when you
110 hope.
No, so what it's saying is if you start at 100 hope and then say you've worn it down through the game to 50, if you roll a 60, that's over, so you now have 60 hope.
No.
You increase, no, that's what it says. You gain hope up to the amount you rolled.
Yeah, but when you gain hope, it adds to what you've currently got.
No,
But
but
that's
what
what
I'm
it's
thinking
all
it's
like,
saying is
yeah.
that you're not actually adding it to your current level.
It's
whatever you
resetting it.
roll over your hope, that becomes your new hope score.
Yeah.
But
I
it
think
says
that-
you
So that way,
gain.
yeah, you gain up to what you rolled, but never more than the amount. So
But it would say your hope becomes the amount you rolled and not you gain as much hope as the amount you rolled in that case.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that your hope becoming whatever roll score you got failing at makes more sense than, I rolled a 72
that
over my
idea.
50.
But it says
I'm just going to up it to back to 100.
But it says you never roll more than your maximum. That would be superfluous if you gain whatever you roll, because the dice can't go over
Yeah,
100.
it does say you gain hope up to the amount you rolled, but never more than your maximum hope. Which means in that case, if you had 50 left, and in Andrew's example, you rolled a 60, you would only gain 50.
I believe
Yeah.
if
you
you've got
just go back
60
to
hope
100.
left, that is your maximum hope.
No,
No, 'cause
because
that
your
would've-
maximum
you would
hope
never
is
be able to
100.
gain.
You just lose hope.
Okay.
Your maximum hope is 100. You start at 100 hope.
Doug, you see what you've done to us?
Stuff happens.
This is a show
throughout.
now.
Stuff. It's like your maximum health,
Yes.
right? Your maximum health is what it is, and you can heal back up to your maximum health.
That's another for the clarity point, I think.
Yeah.
We'll put that down.
And yeah, unfortunately, this doesn't clarify the question that I have, which I think is just logistically or like maybe logically, like why, if you failed a hope check, does that mean you become more hopeful? I think that's the part that my brain's struggling with.
Okay. Let's continue on, see if it answers next.
This is just reminding me of magic and like the logic explanations. And I'm like, it doesn't matter. It's the rules.
That's not an answer I can accept. I'm sorry.
It's because that's why.
Yeah, it's because that's why.
Skills. Page 29. Skills represent the specialized knowledge and abilities your characters obtain through experience. Whenever you make a stat check or save and you have a relevant skill, you add your skill bonus to your stat or save, increasing your chances of success by giving you a higher number to roll under. Each class starts with a few skills and earns more skills by acquiring and spending skill points. I believe you have all purchased some skills when you made characters?
Yes.
There are 3 different skill ranks, common to master, that determine how much you know about a given subject. No skill, no cap.
Oh God.
No flow. 0 bonus. You can attempt skills you don't have with approval from your guide.
That means
Don't
you're
know for like approval.
unk and chopped, as the kids would say.
Yeah, yeah. I'll get to that later, but approval from your guide may not be necessary. The way I run things, you either get no skill or save bonus to your roll, or roll with disadvantage. Common. You received a standard training in this area for over a year, plus 10 bonus. It's a little bardic hat with a feather. Expert. A little, what's that called?
It's a helm.
It was just a helmet.
But what type of helmet?
It's kind of like a Viking helmet.
It's a bit like a spectacle helm, but not quite.
Yes. Expert, plus 15 bonus. You have several years of training and experience in this area. And lastly, with a crown on your head, 20 bonus, plus 20 bonus. There are few who are more capable or know more than you in this highly specialized area. Who has a master skill?
Not me.
I don't know the level of debate on that subject matter. Sleight of hands is technically listed as an expert skill. However, if you scroll down and have a look at it in the skill selection, you'll see that it has a plus 20 bonus, which I feel...
Merely a typo.
It's in the book. Rules is written. So
well, the character sheet is also a rule and will be the most important one.
Well, listen, I like the plus 20 better, okay?
Unnatural ability, a 4th level, only available to skills that have no possible further advancement. See hypervigilance, music speciality, cooking, etc. These do not provide a bonus to your roll, but provide a highly specific power. Each unnatural ability requires a thorough conversation with your guide, hopefully before or after the session, not during. Note, some skills like cooking and sleight of hand do not start at the common skill rank, but can be acquired just as you would a common skill, without any required prerequisites.
And it's in the book, so I'm glad we got that right.
Piece of feedback.
Yes.
For editing Andrew, perhaps. Sleight of hand is misspelled on the character sheet.
It is.
Whose character sheet?
On the official.
This is one off Google.
Okay.
So
ignore everything I've just said.
And it could be the not updated one. I don't know.
All right. Anyway.
Moving on.
I'm so sorry that there was a typo on the free character sheet I handed you.
You should be.
It will never happen again.
How dare he's tearing it up.
I'm just going to light it on fire right here at the table.
No, I won't.
Acquiring new skills. Throughout your adventures, you learn and acquire new skills. To acquire a new skill, three conditions must be met. Number 1. John.
Number 1. Possess a prerequisite skill, if applicable. You may always acquire new common skills, but most expert skills require a prerequisite common skill, and most master skills require a prerequisite expert skill. If you want to acquire a skill, you must already possess at least one of the prerequisite skills pointing to the desired skill, if applicable. Sleep. You must be sleeping comfortably for at least 4 hours. Spend 5 skill points. You must have and spend the appropriate amount of skill points. The amount of skill points required to acquire a new skill is always 5 skill points. This is really trying to make me twist my tongue.
It's very word salady.
Prerequisite appears multiple times, and the required to acquire threw me off.
Required to acquire, yeah.
I turn around and Andrew's gone
Yeah, he snuck off as you started.
as I was reading it.
He hasn't said anything, has he? I couldn't see anything.
Oh, look at that. He's actually strangling Doug in the front garden. If you want to know how fallen the world has become.
Because where did he respond?
Just bear-
The podcast
Look to us. No, John read the entire thing. What do you want us to do from there? You want us to just
Yeah.
ad-lib
Keep
it?
going.
Just make it up?
How to gain skill points. The rest is on you, buddy. I can't see you further.
I'm scrolling. Gaining skill points is ultimately up to how your guide chooses to reward them.
Oh no, you hate that.
And 2, a skill point is typically rewarded for the following: completing a session.
Woo, participation trophy!
Yay. Oh, it's the current year, 2026, where everyone gets a trophy. Don't you hate it? Coddling these players.
Look, it's so specific
I guess-
about the amount of time you play in a session.
I guess
Read
Doug won't be getting any skill points then.
it. Read it, Andrew. Read the next part.
That could apply to 2 people at this table.
Well, no, we've already done completing a session, haven't we?
No. We haven't.
Where are we
Completing a session.
Completing a session.
Sessions of Fatherfog usually take at least 2 hours. So 1 skill point every 2 hours of play is standard. Well, there
That's
you
a
have
lot. Why can't they just... They can't resist an XP system. Doesn't always have to have an XP system.
it. Yeah.
It's better than never getting skill points and
Exactly.
never improving our characters.
They should be dead by then anyway.
Yeah.
It's insurance against stingy guides.
Milestones. Did you rescue the children? Did you defeat the great evil? Solve the mystery? Maybe you're on a dragon strike. A dragon quest. Accomplishing a milestone may result in 1 skill point. So there you go. So you're going to get multiple skill points during play.
Oh my god, the next part?
Keeping watch. When party members are sleeping, someone may need to keep watch to ensure their safety. This 4-hour activity rewards 1 skill point.
What the?
But you get no rest.
What is this? I mean, sorry, are we children?
What is this? A TTRPG for ants?
Well,
We're going to compete over who gets to
No, there's
keep
2
watch.
No, I'm watching.
there's 2 watches a night. 4 hours and 4 hours. Yeah?
There is also on this possibly not approved
Yes.
character sheet the number of days without sleep, which gives you disadvantages, which maybe we haven't got to that part of the book yet. But that might be something to consider about rest. How much
Yeah.
rest you need to be fully rested, bloody blah blah.
We will go back up to the rest and recuperation section after we've read out some of the skill speciality, haven't we?
Yeah, we did
Yes.
that last time when we were picking them.
So let's scroll past this.
There's also millions of words there, so maybe we don't want to read all that out.
All right. The next pages, which is we've seen before in the last episode, skill speciality, how to play, page 30, lists all the skills and what they do. So that's something for you. Unnatural abilities. An unnatural ability is a specific and unique talent you create. To acquire an unnatural ability, you must have a skill that can no longer progress and spend 5 skill points. Each unnatural ability is based on the skill leading to it and is an extension of that skill. Creating an unnatural ability should be a conversation between you and your guide to ensure this power makes sense in the context of the world and is carefully balanced to prevent breaking the experience. Every unnatural ability should have your guide's approval, a reference name, details, and a consequence for its use. Let's all read out an example of an unnatural abilities going clockwise, shall we?
Savory satiation. I'll do a different voice. Noriel spends 5 skill points to acquire an unnatural ability related to his cooking skill. He is now able to cook a single serving of a meal that can cure all addictions.
This recipe requires many ingredients, including a bone from the intended consumer.
Wow.
The king's
Hold still. I need just one toe.
One
Just-
finger, please.
The King's Hello. Tellus has the unarmed combat skill and wants an unnatural ability to knock others unconscious by headbutting them. However, doing so causes Tellus to lose health and always knocks him unconscious as well. That's pretty good.
Sleep Song. Sona has the performance speciality, specifically with the lute. She spends 5 skill points to learn how to play a specific song on a lute so unnaturally that all those who hear it must fight the incredible urge to sleep. Unfortunately, playing this song destroys the lute. Frets of fire.
Full of Flask. Bathsheba has the trade speciality, specifically the Cooper skill. They want to spend their 5 skill points for the ability to create a wine cask that holds more liquid than it logically can. Their guide agrees, but says they can only create one of these casks per year.
Hand transplant. Piper has the surgery skill and wants to perform hand transplants. Her guide agrees, but stipulates the chance of success greatly decreases every few minutes the donor's hand is not attached to a living being.
Fog form. Alaric has the fog whisper skill and wants to be able to will the fog to coalesce into shapes and forms so that he may be able to scare or distract others. His guide agrees, but the size, complexity, and duration of the form can reduce Alaric's maximum hope. Also, every time he does it, he pisses his pants.
I added that.
My potion's too strong for you.
Potions.
He would be a valid character in
Please, potion
in
seller, I
Fatherfog.
need your strongest potions if I'm to be successful in the battle.
You can't handle my strongest potions.
Sorry.
Oh, I wanted to keep going. I was getting a high.
Yeah, never apologise for
My
that bit. I
potions
hope that
No one
Dopamine.
can.
there's bit to live forever in this podcast.
Rest and improvement. The end of page 32. Survival in the fog is daunting, but those who do come out even more resilient. Finding a haven to safely recover is paramount to staving off death and despair. During your adventures, you must rest, heal, and maybe even relax to regain hope. Anytime you rest, you have the opportunity to improve your character. But how do I rest? Whenever your party want to rest, you need a relatively quiet and warm place for at least 4 hours. That'd be 1 watch. A typical night of rest is 8 hours, 2 4-hour sessions. There are 5 possible resting activities, each requiring at least 4 hours. See resting activities on the following page. Don't mind if we do. You may attempt more than 1 resting activity if the time permits and the requirements are met. Remember, going a day without at least 4 hours of sleep causes disadvantage on all rolls, meaning saves as well, until you sleep for 4 hours. There are no additional benefits to sleeping more than 8 hours in a single day.
But remember, every time that I'm there and you wake up, you lose hope anyway.
A little bit.
Yay.
That's fine. We can just fail and regain it.
Sam? Why I order? Resting activities. Here are the 5 possible resting activities. That is all? Keeping watch. Little eye symbol. 4 hours of attempting to stand guard. No requirements. Gain 1 skill point. Does not provide rest for the sake of preventing disadvantage. So you still need that extra 4 hours for the night. Full night's rest. A little moon. 8 hours of sleep. John just yawned. Requires shoes off, armor off, warmth and shelter. Gain 10 health. Gain 10 hope. Increase one of your stats or saves by 1. Well, they really don't want characters living for too long. You may also require new skills by spending the necessary skill points. So you can basically level up as you sleep.
Increasing your stats or saves by 1 is actually nuts. That's good. That means the likelihood of people living is greater.
It means you'll be dead in 2 days anyway, so it won't matter. That's what it means.
Yeah.
That's why they want you to create 2 characters, because nothing's going to matter. half night's rest, a little sleepy eye. Don't wake the bugbear, they say, with these sleepy eyes. 4 hours of sleep requires shoes off, armor off, warmth and shelter. Gain one of the following. Did I just read this? No, it's the same. Gain 10 health, gain 10 hope, increase one of your stats and saves by 1. You may also acquire one new skill by spending... What?
Did you
is
not
the
get...
difference?
You get all of it if you do a full night. You only get one of those if you do a half.
Oh, gain one of the following.
Oh.
So you choose, I guess.
Good spotting.
Fevered dreams. 8 hours of sleep requires shoes off, armor off, warmth and shelter, lose 10 hope, lose 1 despair effect, addiction or other malady.
So I'm guessing that'll be imposed on you.
No, I think because you choose.
Yeah, it's like if your character has
you're
a
addicted
despair
to
effect
something.
or an addiction, you can choose to have a night of fevered dreams and you get rid of that effect.
But
at
you
the
pay
cost of
hope.
10 hope.
Yeah.
And well, at the cost of 20 hope because you're not gaining the hope that you normally would if you're normal.
It's a resource, John. Hope is a resource.
I see.
A rough night.
I'm running out of mine.
A rough night. 4 hours of sleep, no requirement, lose 1 hope, lose 1 health. Note, a rough night is used to prevent disadvantage on all rolls due to sleep deprivation. There you go.
So if you don't have shelter and you can't take your armor off, you can still get a sleep to avoid the disadvantage.
And if it's not warm.
But you lose hope and health by doing so.
You got it, Sam?
It's the note that I'm confused about.
Well, if you don't sleep in the 24-hour period, all rolls are a disadvantage.
But it says it's used to prevent.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you wouldn't do it otherwise. You would want one of the other ones that's only a worst case. It's the worst option for sleeping.
Oh,
Yeah.
I understand. Okay, I understand. Yeah, it clicked. All right, got it. Yep.
Good. Just takes a little longer.
Hey, nobody's been able to explain any other things to me, okay?
Wait
We're all
till we
in the
get to
same
the
boat.
despair effects, and that'll be why you gain some hope back. Hopefully.
Hopefully. Combat. Here we go. Rub your hands together, people, and crack your knuckles. Thank you, John.
Ugh.
Page 34. Combat. Combat is often fatal and should be avoided at all costs. Regardless of how skilled or armored you might be, just one unlucky misstep could easily result in death. When all else fails, this is how to resolve an encounter that leads to combat. Quick rounds. Combat is quick and reflexive. During a violent confrontation, time is split into roughly 10-second in-game intervals called rounds. This is the same as in Mothership. Action within a round happens at about the same time. Simultaneous combat, like in Mothership, most people do that.
You're going to hate this, Andrew. Look what it says.
What? Hang on. Each round has 5 steps. Here we go.
Number 1.
I'll try to hold my thoughts for the matter. Number 1, description. Each round, your guide describes the situation and what is likely to happen if you do not respond. Okay. Number 2, act or pass. The guide asks each player, in any order of the guide's choosing, how their character is going to react. As usual, you are free to ask your guide questions and for clarifications. If you can't quickly come up with an idea of what to do, about 5 real-time seconds, the guide passes you and asks the next player. Don't worry, you have a second chance when the guide comes back around to you.
Let's strike through that little don't worry part. Make a decision or nothing happens.
Worry, you have a second.
Yes. Freeze, optional. If the guide comes back after previously passing you and you still can't quickly think of what your character is going to do, your character is frozen in thought and does nothing for this round.
That's fair.
Note, the purpose of passing and freezing is to stimulate the quick and hectic nature of violence. It is beneficial to think and act quickly during combat. If your group does not enjoy the Simulated.
I
pressed the button on the stimulator. I mean the elevator. Not enjoy the Simulated pressure. That's
why
I almost said stimulated pleasure of quickly
so Freudian.
milking a decision. The freeze penalty should be ignored. 4. Rolls. Once everyone has committed to an action or is frozen, the guide assigns any necessary stat checks or saves to be rolled. Players roll their assigned checks or saves and then report the results of their roll to the guide. Results. After all stat checks and saves are reported, the guide describes the results and assigns any loss of health or hope. Finally, your guide repeats this process if necessary by returning to step 1. So, I think, Andrew, when you rolled sleight of hand,
Yeah.
you would just describe what you're doing without asking for permission. Don't ask for a check. If it was risky, I will call for a check. If not, you can always just do something. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So it's up to me to actively react to you guys describing your actions.
So, like, if you were like, I'm going to, sneak out of these handcuffs and do this and this and this, you're like, well, you're doing that fast. That's a potential for...
I'll just simply call for a check.
Yeah, but if he was to say, I'm going to spend the next 5 minutes while those two are chatting to slowly get my hand out of the handcuffs, then maybe potentially you wouldn't call for it because he's taken his time to do it. Potentially.
What can I do? Dear guide, what can I do? Think of your situation like you would in real life. What would you do in these circumstances? Describe this to your guide. Remember, your character only has 10 seconds of action in-game every round. If your choices are especially foolhardy, dangerous, or time-consuming, your guide will do their best to let you know. Sure. And explain the risks involved. Yeah, good luck with that. With me, here's a non-exhaustive list of actions you could attempt in a single round. Attack a target, tend to a wound, sprint to a new location, reload a weapon, throw something, close and lock a door.
Do you know what I love? I love that answers the question related to Mothership about whether or not it requires a round or is considered an action to move behind cover down the hallway.
I was just listening to that episode. Literally today, I was listening to that episode.
We've come full circle somehow in this moment.
So it's just reinforcing what we found out by play in the end, that during a round, you basically have one thing to do in those 10 seconds, and you're committing to that action in a single round. Meaning multiple actions would just not be possible in the situation. You have to really focus on one thing and move. That's about it, which is what we do now. Meaning you're attacking a target, then you might move or step away. And if you're tending to a wound, that's taking all your focus for that. You're not going to open a door and tend to someone's wound in under 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. So that's very good. Tip, fight smarter, not harder. Your will stat, while important, is not your only tool. Use your environment, skills, and inventory to outsmart, outrun, and even outlast your enemy. So I believe that all fighting checks are will. Is that correct?
Wouldn't imagine
That's
so.
what I kind of alluded to earlier.
Yeah.
But fighting does say S and W.
S and W. Okay, cool. When do enemies attack? Sorry, go on.
I was just saying, like, things like firearms are just will.
Yeah, because you only have to pull a trigger, John. Blunderbuss boy.
I don't have a blunderbuss.
You're a handle.
I have a
Blunderboy.
handle. Of
You
a
can
blunderbuss.
pistol whip someone.
Wait, we can still use them as clubs.
When do enemies attack? Non-player characters, NPCs, do not get a traditional turn like players. Instead, their attacks are part of the guide's description. Your failures in combat often lead to a loss of health.
Check your surroundings. Sense violent encounters.
Hang on, I've got a comment.
Oh.
So this is player-facing roles. So when the guide is describing the situation, they're saying, the bandit is coming to attack you. This will happen. Without a roll, I believe. Attacks are part of the guide's description. So this is what's going to happen unless you do something to prevent it. So that would be, you would describe your action as seeing the bandit come in, I raise up my shield, and that would give you advantage on your body, on your save or check or whatever. Save, usually, if it's happening to you, correct?
So they say.
And give you a chance.
You're not happening to it. The bandit's happening to
Or
you.
you could say, like, I'll parry the blow, and then that
Yeah.
could be your fighting skill or
Yeah.
whatever.
Cool.
I mean, outside of, a few of the wishy-washy, the wording of side of things, a lot of this sort of process kind of feels similar to, what you've already got us doing with Mothership.
Yeah, pretty much is what, since this is after Mothership, I'm guessing a lot of this wordage is what they wanted to intend Mothership to be, to work in violent encounters. This is just a bit more clarity, I believe, in how the developers want it to work. I can't speak for them. Obviously, Alan may have different design decisions compared to Sean, but they're both obviously feeding off each other ideas.
Alan sitting there listening to us get all the rules wrong, pulling his hair out. It's like, how come they're so dumb? They can't figure it out.
Yes, it's like this.
It's so obvious.
Well, if you're listening, please comment below and we will send you a whole list of grievances we have.
Alan.
Check your surroundings. Since violent encounters and combat are potentially deadly, you want to have advantage and avoid disadvantage. In combat, you can gain advantage through the use of cover, height, and other tactical maneuvers. For example, maybe there's a chandelier hanging above your enemy, waiting to be released. Or perhaps they're standing in oil, ready to be ignited. Again, remember to fight smarter, not harder. And remember also, that steel's heavier than feathers.
Steel's heavier than feathers. I was about to say that. Thank you, John. Moving down to page 35. Does anyone need a break? A little break?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe. I don't know. It depends.
All right, everyone on YouTube, this is an ad break. Here we go. Take it away.
The national census is coming to Perth.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose it's because until you take a shitload of hope, I suppose it would be like your hope's pretty much not going to go down too much. Like you're only going to lose so much at a time, and then it's going to bump up to 100 again.
A lot of people have said that they like to reduce the hope max to 50 while playing one-shots. Because at 100,
you would never get there.
4 hours, you're not going to get many of those effects. So that is done. Welcome back. This is a cold continuance of the episode. You haven't missed anything, don't worry. Thank you for listening to the ad break. We are back on page 35, and this is continuing combat. Attack. Roll a will check to attack a target. It is will check. And or strength if in the skill. Yeah, it's will. If you're successful, you cause your weapon's damage, DMG, to the target. So it's weapon damage, a set amount of damage if you're successful. All right, Sam?
Yes, the next part.
Most weapons deal damage equal to your successful will check. Example, if you succeed with a will check of 31 and inflict 31 damage to your target.
Holy shit.
Yep.
So you don't survive.
Yeah. We don't have to worry about hope rolls and stuff. We're never going to get there.
Where we're going, we don't have any hope.
No, because it says NPCs don't attack the same way we do.
Yeah, it's different. A critical success... Well, hang on. A critical success on your will check may outright kill your target. There you go. Or at least cause additional effects. If you fail your will check, the situation worsens. Your guide will tell you what happens, but the default is losing 1 hope, because it's a failed check. A critical failure not only causes you to lose hope or health, guide's choice, hope or health, okay, but it also forces you to roll a hope save. That's if you anytime a critical failure happens, you have to roll a hope save. Defense. Physical damage is reduced by the number of defense you have. There are many tools, items, and situations that may add defense. For example, leather armor, shield, staff. There are also many types of damage that ignore defense. For instance, defense may not protect you from inhaling poisonous gas, and a helmet won't protect you from stepping on thorns. Taking damage. Here we go. Every time your character is physically harmed, you take damage. Brackets DMG. Capitals. Subtract the amount of damage you take from your current health. If you ever receive enough damage to reduce your health to 0, death comes to you and either heals you for a price or takes you away. See death on page 39.
Joke's on you. I'm into that.
Bring it on, death.
I read Ancient Magus Bride. It's my favorite manga.
Now here is something that's going to grind my goat.
It's going to grind your goat. It's going to get your gears and grind your goat.
My talking goat who sold a hedgehog some pigs is going to be grinded up into the woodsman mince pie. that a good
God.
analogy for you? Combat example.
I'll be Eckhart.
Okay.
I'll be Alaric.
Okay. Anyone else? If there's only two.
Steve, be Corinne.
I'll be the guide.
All right, be Corin.
It's Corinne.
Corin.
Could be either.
It's his character, his name.
Guide.
Corin.
The troll's mouth gapes wide, teeth like chipped gravestones. If no one acts, it will seize Corinne by the throat.
I want to swing my rusted axe and sink it into the troll skull.
Roll a will check and I'll get back to you to hear the results. Alaric, what will you do?
I don't know. Is the bridge wide enough for me to run past the troll?
Not safely. You will run the risk of getting attacked or even getting pushed off the bridge by the troll.
Oh, then, pass.
I'll get back to you, Alaric. Corinne, what are you doing?
I don't want to get choked by a troll, so I'm going to scramble away from the bridge and head toward the broken railing for cover.
Roll a will check to see if you're able to get away. Alaric, what are you doing?
I don't know.
Well, then you're frozen in thought.
Oh
and
no.
Do nothing this round. Eckhart and Corinne, how did you do on your dice rolls?
I lost one hope because I failed my will check with a 48.
I passed with a 27.
The troll stops Corinne from running away and manages to grab her by the arm, causing 18 damage.
I have leather armor. Will that help decrease the damage?
Absolutely. Leather armor has 1 defense. So instead of losing 18 health, you'll only lose 17. But Eckhart, while the troll is grabbing Corinne, you run up and strike the troll right in the head. The troll drops Corinne and grabs his head in pain.
Absolutely horrific.
Yes.
Garbage. I'm sorry, guys. You know what the show is like. Those who we hate this. We hate this.
So what John is trying to say so eloquently is...
I'm trying to say, once upon a time, when the woodsman went to attack the wolf with his axe, and then the woodsman said, "Wait a minute, I have a skill. Can I move over here?" "No, you cannot, because you don't have the requisite, but maybe, you know."
Yeah, sure. Yeah, no.
So here at Nobody Wake the Bugbear, it is a personal preference that role-playing is deficient in many online games, and the culture of play seems to ignore the role-playing side of the game. The R in RPG
And
is
the P.
role-playing. And the P. Well, play. Play is the P.
2/3 of the game.
R is roll, P is play.
So, what we like to do is to stay in character and interact with the world in character, and to not directly address the guide or warden as a person at the table, but rather as the environment and the conduit to get information.
We don't do
From the
above table
world.
talk.
Yes. So the benefits of this is that players can act out their characters' actions directly in first-person perspective or third-person perspective. And the advantages in that is that they get more agency. They don't have to ask permission to do anything. They simply describe what they're doing in the world, and then the guide or the warden reacts as the world in a logical way, maintaining verisimilitude of the world of what happens. So, as the troll mouth gapes wide, teeth like chipped gravestones, it rushes towards you, reaching its arm out to strike. So I don't need to say if no one acts, it's implied. Don't need to address you as players because I've just described what the troll is doing.
And I don't need to say I want to swing my rusted axe. Instead, Eckhart rushes forward, axe raised, and brings it down towards the troll.
Yes. And then the guide, we obviously still have to play the game section of this, so I will simply call for a will check, roll a will check. I don't need to say I'll get back to you to hear the results because you will roll it and then call the result of your roll when there's a moment in the conversation. But you understand as a player that other people are at the table who also get a turn to speak. Alric?
Alaric is completely taken aback by this sudden violence and hesitates.
He doesn't know what to do. So in character, he's channeled that by freezing in place and describing it beautifully. Then we on to Stephen, and Sam haven't spoken yet. So I don't think Sam was playing a character.
No, I was just observing quietly.
But Stephen, earlier I said describe the troll rushing towards you, reaching out its hand.
Corin fear. I panic with the troll coming in my direction, and I scramble away and ducking for cover.
Good. Roll a will check.
Go on, do it now.
Go on, do it.
I rolled a D10 and a D8, but
17. You can assume. So success or failure?
Yeah, I succeed. I definitely duck under the troll's hand and slide along the railing to safety.
Very good. Now, Corinne, if you failed that, you don't need to say to everyone you lost one hope. You would, as a player, we trust you to know the mechanics, and you would just write that down on your sheet. So it's up to you to do things like this.
To be fair to the writers of the book, we can't all be as profoundly skilled and cool as us.
No, John, anyone can do this. It's just the style.
No. Only experts can do this sort of game.
And in a situation where Corinne failed, the guide would describe the outcome, right? Of a failure.
Well, I've already inferred what will happen in the initial description, meaning reaching out a claw to grab you. I would just describe the attack and the damage. So I say the troll manages to grab Corinne by the throat, causing 18 damage.
Mm-hmm.
Corinne, you have leather armor on. You don't have to ask permission, will it help decrease the damage? You know it decreases damage, so you can just take the damage off when I say the number.
I would just say, okay. Or,
No,
it hurts.
you don't need to say okay. Yeah, that would be our way of running a combat example. In character, don't need to ask permission or questions of the guide or the warden, and just to describe your actions.
Unless the guide forgets to tell you to roll.
I trust you to roll and say success or failure, and then describe that. And that'll cue me to say, oh, that's right. Alaric did something that turn, and you've just told me.
Yeah, so I suppose the confusion then is, are we describing what we do in game and then expecting you as the guide to tell us what to then roll if it's risky enough? Or is that then the onus is on us to decide if we're rolling for ourselves? Is it a little column A, a little column B?
I think it's a little column A and column B. If you're doing something and you've described what your successful result, your intention is, because you were going to attack with your sword, were you not? Or you were blocking. You're attacking with your axe.
Mm.
So if you were successful...
I think, like, in combat, it's mostly going to be a roll because it's a stressful situation.
Yeah,
I suppose I'm thinking more outside of combat with the stat checks and such.
Yeah, outside of combat, if you're doing something, I will it's up to me to jump in. You don't have to wait for me to...
You will call for rolls.
I will call for rolls if it's necessary. Otherwise, you just act on it.
Well, then that is counter to the whole thing. I guess this is going back to the previous episode with the trying to break through the manacles.
Yes.
It was, am I to decide, I'm doing a thing, I'm going to roll for it? Or am I describing what I'm doing and then...
You would just describe what you're doing.
Me, you then tell me if I roll or not.
Correct.
But obviously, like, as people that play together a lot, you know this is probably going to be a risky thing. You can just do it. Yeah. And then whether he asks to roll or not, that's up to you.
I think it's good to set a standard, though, for what people to expect at the table.
Yes. But I'm just saying, like, even if Andrew does say, do a will check, you've already done it. Doesn't really matter. And if you did do it and it wasn't necessary, you can just ignore it, your roll, or use it if you want.
What I might have done in that situation is when I described the jailer looking at you, I would have, as a guide, say, roll a sleight of hand check.
Yep.
Because he's actively noticing you and causing a save.
Yeah,
Or
cool.
not save, but a check.
Yeah.
Causing a check.
He, by looking, increased the difficulty to a point where there is a risk.
So you were doing it. You don't need to roll for it. But then
As I gain the attention
I'm able
on
to
me,
do
then,
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
So
cool.
that works.
But in saying that, so that's outside of combat. When
Yes.
we're in combat, if you're attacking something, there will generally always be a will check involved, right? If you're using a weapon, that's kind of
Correct. Yeah.
right. But in Corinne's case, when Corinne attempts to scramble away from the bridge and head towards the broken railing, that would be upon you, the guide, to call for that check, right? Because
If you
Corinne doesn't know necessarily how far away the troll is.
Yeah.
Like, so that would be required for the guide to call for the roll.
I believe in the example I said roll a will check.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
that.
I just want to be clear that if you're rolling to hit with a weapon or anything like that that always has a standard roll attached, then you're in charge of rolling for that. You won't
Correct.
call for that. But in those situations, like that example, you will always call for the roll.
Yeah, in most combat risky situations,
Yeah.
I will be locked in and reactive. But during non-risky situations, I might be reading something or absorbing the role play and not be
Yeah.
zoned in on each of you and what you're doing, sort of thing. John, am I being portraited? John's drawing and looking at me.
I'm drawing both Andrews.
Why are you looking at me during? So I'll show that on the
Save
screen.
this for later.
I'll show it on the screen if it's able to be shown.
Why are they so phallic?
All right. So that is our thoughts on the combat example. Basically, we like to see a little bit more role play and less of a game, playing a board game. Like to get into our characters. Anyway, moving on. Possible perils. Survival is a futile struggle. You must endure. A blade or bite are not your only concerns, as countless dire fates await you in the fog. Do your best to find shelter, prevent maladies, and avoid getting lost in the fog. Below are some of the most common hazards and dangers you'll encounter while traveling.
Addiction. Excessive use of medicinal herbs or other similar drugs may require a body save to prevent addiction. Once addicted, when waking from sleep, you must succeed a body save or lose a bit of hope. When in the presence of the substance to which you are addicted,
Sam's blowing up with a bit of hope. Sam, it's capital B, little case O, capital H. So it's a bit of hope is like a keyword
I understand that,
in
but
Magic the Gathering.
We're trying to work out how many circumstances it's a bit.
bits of hope aren't just mind saves. Which is what people at this table said to me before.
So they've clearly called out when else it is applicable.
Carry
during
on.
addiction.
Carry on.
when in the presence of the substance to which you are addicted, succeed a body save or be forced to consume the substance. If you are unable to consume the substance, lose a bit of hope and roll a hope save. Addictions can be removed with the Fever Dreams rest activity. Try it. It works in real life with...
Just sweat it out.
So Sam, in this particular case,
In those two particular cases that I
The-
mentioned on the screen.
the disadvantage for having an addiction is you may lose more hope
You may lose a bit of hope
trying to cure it.
if you fail a body save.
Correct.
And then you may also lose a bit of hope
So this
if
isn't
you
a
are
standard.
unable to consume the substance.
This isn't a standard failure. This
Right.
is losing a bit of hope, as in being something more significant.
Right.
Food and hunger. Food is essential to your survival. You must eat at least one. I like the the commentary getting more and more unhinged as we go. At least one ration worth of food every day, or else you will have disadvantage on all rolls due to hunger. At the beginning of the 10th day without eating, you die of starvation.
Water and thirst. Stay hydrated and keep your water skins full. You must drink at least one water skin worth of potable
Potable.
liquid potable liquid every day, or else you will have disadvantage on all rolls due to thirst. At the beginning of the 4th day without drinking, you die of dehydration.
Also, note, alcohol does not prevent thirst, but oftentimes does provide a bit of hope.
So now you can also gain a bit of hope?
Yes.
I'm losing it, okay? I'm actually losing it.
Well, do the next one in your unhinged losing it voice.
4 damage!
Keep going. Do it.
The amount of health you lose from falling depends on many factors. When you fall, roll a body or spirit save and resolve the following. If you fail, lose 1 health for every foot you fall. If you succeed, lose 1 health for every 2 feet you fall. Falling 80 feet or more is always lethal.
And you lose a bit of hope.
Sleep and exhaustion. Going 24 hours without sleep causes disadvantage.
Jot 'em.
On all rolls until you sleep for at least 4 hours.
That was the biggest yawn I've ever seen.
Or lose a bit of hope.
I thought Andrew was going for the big sleep
It
then.
took a while. It took a while.
I'm going to do this next bit like a Werner Herzog documentary.
The fog can be blindingly thick and opaque. Whiteouts are common and strike without warning. Getting lost in the fog is nearly guaranteed unless traveling safeguards are taken. Even then, common are the tales of folk being swept up by the fog's tendrils and relocated in far-off lands. We saw a penguin headed towards the mountains. But why?
Sorry. We're losing our minds here.
Flora, vines, thorns, and poisonous fungi thrive within the foggy woods. Even trees can house carnivorous critters not seen before the fog, or perhaps the trees themselves may have been reawoken with the bitterness towards humanity.
And steel is heavier than feathers.
What? I don't get it.
I don't get it.
Don't get it. Stephen.
Other perils, see? There are many dangers in the world of Fatherfog, but too many to list here. Be aware of maladies, poisons, venom, disease, extreme temperatures, curses, and many more. Many of these, like effects from failing a hope save, require you to keep track of ongoing conditions. Tread carefully and trust your guide. They will inform you of specific details when encountering such calamities, see?
I don't know if this content's good anymore.
Yeah, we've jumped the shark, I think.
Find out more at 6. All right, we promise
If anyone understood a word I said.
we won't continue that way.
No, it's a fantastic accent. I want a whole character like that.
I was thinking the same thing.
Work.
Healing. We are on page 37. How long can this episode go? We will find out. We will find out very much so, since Doug is no longer coming to this session or the next one. So we are at least a month of content without Mothership recording that we're fully scheduled to do and no longer can.
Andrew, the guide, is currently holding up a substance that cannot restore thirst, but can restore a bit of hope.
But hilariously, he's also losing hope while he holds it.
Health does not simply represent a lack of injuries or bodily harm. Rather, health is more a measure of your body's ability to carry onwards. While mutilation and crippling likely require surgery, regaining this physical resilience can be done in 4 basic ways and lose a bit of hope. Resting. Sleeping is the most common way to regain health and allows your body to naturally recover, unless you're over 40. And then sleep.
I feel that.
And then sleep only makes it worse.
And your back hurts.
Basic care. Once every 24 hours, you may attempt to perform a basic care.
Wait a minute, you said we wouldn't do it anymore.
I got the bug. Once every 24 hours, you can attempt to perform basic care, a common skill on yourself or a party member. A successful basic care skill check heals a bit of health. Oh my god, it's increasing. Basic care skill checks can be modified or enhanced with the basic care kit. Anatomy anatomy, an expert skill, or even surgery, a master skill. Oh no, that's one sentence. Skill checks can be modified or enhanced with a basic care kit, anatomy, or even surgery. Remember, basic care kits are consumed with success. And we see some lovely art there of a tincture of some sort of fungus or bag of worms being applied to someone's gaping abdominal cavity wound.
It's clearly a bag of crystals. It's the healing aura.
The crystals.
That's pure crystal.
Medicinal herbs. There are specific plants that, when consumed quickly and greatly, aid in the recovery of health. Medicinal herbs immediately grant a bit of hope and health. Due to the potency of medicinal herbs, consuming more than one within 24 hours requires a body save. Failure results in addiction.
Pay death's price. When you are reduced to 0 health, death appears. If you succeed with a body save, death offers you health in exchange for part of yourself. See the death table on page 40.
And we are scrolling down. So, by nature of the current situation, this episode is ballooning to an incredible size as we continue on with more of the book. As we have just learned, we have ample time to discuss this. Should we pause it now and come back next time? Or should we just continue?
I think, for the sake of everyone here and the experience of the listeners, we should pause it here before.
What are you talking about?
What do you mean? See? Now we all lose a bit of health. A bit of hope.
Come on, we have so many more accents that we can now throw into this.
But it would be good to perhaps cover the despair section that we keep referencing and all of our questions are related to, but never actually get to.
I agree. Let's just go through the book a bit. So we're almost at the guides section.
Which we can't look
Which
at.
we can continue, which you can't really look at, can you?
We're not allowed to.
Well, it's apparently been erased.
Yes, it's been erased. Stop! This section is not for players. If you are still reading this and you have decided to be the guide.
Stop!
Introduction to guiding. I won't need to read any of that.
I'm a pro.
Especially that part that said have fun.
Player requests. No.
We will not be taking requests.
Dealing damage. Oh, it's good if you know this.
Yeah.
That is actually something I wanted to know, is how they arrived at that 18 damage in the previous little scenario.
Because that's what...
So I reckon we cover the last few vestiges of this
And then
do another episode on the guide of the warden.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds good.
Oh no, not guide of the guide of the warden.
Yes.
The guide's guide.
The guide of the guides?
Yes. Good we?
The Guide's Guide to Guiding.
All right, back to page 37. We have read that. We saw the man with his guts out and a bit of nip.
For free?
The
Get that for free.
pepperonis.
Travel, page 38. Traveling in the world of Fatherfog is not for the faint of heart. The fog is everywhere, and the dangers within are perilous and unknown. But this is what separates you from the common. You are a fog venturer, one who is brave enough to step into the grey unknown. Traveling by foot.
A healthy person can walk about 3 miles per hour for about 8 hours in a single day. The distance travelled within that 8 hours depends on several factors, including but not limited to endurance, weather, the density of the fog, and terrain. Considering all of this, you would be fortunate to accomplish 20 miles of travel in a single day.
I thought you said terrain there, not terrain.
What?
I thought he said like traveling terrain.
Terrain.
Fine slice of my Gorgon bear.
Traveling by beast. Horses and similar beasts of burden seem near extinct in the would you stop that?
We're going to start
A little
seizing.
A little scrolling humour there.
If not lost to the fog, these mounts... If not lost to the fog... Fuck, man. If not lost to the fog, these mounts may have been... Jesus, would you just fucking leave it? God damn.
If we were doing this to him, he would be so mad about our unprofessionalism.
The hinges have flown off John. The door. The
We're
hinges
blowing
of the door.
doors right off.
You blew the bloody doors off.
Nobody's listening to this anymore. This is
No, sorry.
Everyone's asleep by this point.
They will close the video. It's like, this seemed like a good idea at the time.
But I promised whimsical fairiness.
Whimsical fairiness. Yeah, I remember those words exactly.
Travelling by beast. Horses and similar beasts of burden seem near extinct in the world of Fatherfog.
No, sorry. You may continue at a normal pace without any messing around, without any tomfoolery
There'll be no more fuckery afoot.
or horseplay.
The worst part is rules of 3. This would be the time to do it. Horses and similar beasts of burden seem near extinct in the world of Fatherfog. If not lost to the fog, these mounts may have been devoured by the desperate. The value of owning such a creature is near immeasurable. Keeping such a coveted animal is rarer yet. If you can find one, an average healthy horse or similar beast of burden can be twice as fast as travelling by foot, allowing for a possible 40 miles a day.
Travelling by riverboat. Rivers are thought to remain constant within the fog, making them one of the last remnants of reliable landmarks for navigation. Therefore, river travel holds many benefits. The distance travelled by river depends on various conditions and obstacles, but primarily if you're going up or downstream. Moreover, travelling via rivers in the dark is extremely hazardous and should never be attempted. Considering the average day has about 8 hours of strong daylight, you can travel by boat the following distances. Stop breathing. Floating downstream averages 4 miles per hour for a maximum of 32 miles in a single day. Paddling upstream averages 2 miles per hour for a maximum of 16 miles in a single day.
That's about 17 kilometres and 3 wallabies.
What
Yeah.
if you're paddling downstream?
Paddling upstream.
No.
Yeah.
Floating downstream or paddling upstream?
Yes.
What if you're paddling downstream?
Go 6
Do you go
miles
8?
and 48.
Asking the
The important
important
questions.
questions. Add that to the list. Alan.
We need answers.
Travelling by sea. Sailing the sea is incredibly risky. With the presence of the fog, visibility is extremely limited. Not
Andrew, we can't understand that one.
Not
Have
only
mercy on the
does
audience.
this increase the likelihood of collision, but also greatly impairs the ability to navigate. Whether using a full-size galleon or personal
Andrew, stop.
sailboat,
Stop it. Stop it.
let me just finish. You would be fortunate to survive travel a rate of 4 miles per hour or 400 miles
That's one.
within a day.
That's 100 miles.
It's
100
Wabbit season.
100 miles within a day.
Again, I just want a whole character with that voice. I want a whole episode of that.
Fog houses. Similar to lighthouses, but in the thick of the forest, these strange towers emerged in isolated areas with the thick of the fog. Fog housekeepers keep the bright beacons aflame and blow a mighty horn to offer a haven to those who might be lost. Each fog house is unique, but all offer food, shelter, and a strict adherence to one rule: absolutely no violence within the walls.
This is a good mechanic. I'm excited for you guys to venture into the fog and find some of these fog houses, because you can be assured that I will make every NPC residing the most unsufferable, eccentric person that you have to meet. Because who
Sounds
else
good.
would be staying in these things and
Yeah,
venturing out?
For sure.
I can't wait to meet every single one of them.
Wayfinding.
John, you just schooled me.
How long does one prevent getting entirely lost in the fog? There are a few common practices. Fog lines are long lengths of rope, often adorned with sleigh bells, tied along the length of commonly traversed paths. This provides a secure fog line to feel even during the thickest fog. Threading, also known as the widow's thread, is a practice of tying a rope to one another so no one party member does not get separated from the others. This is also why you commonly see folk holding on to one another's cloaks when a rope is not present. Unchanging landmarks, like rivers, cliffs, and canyons, can be followed without being lost. Maps are not to be trusted. The land is not what it once was. Roads fade to neglect or are swallowed by the fog. Any person offering an accurate map should not be trusted, as such an item would be invaluable. Fog houses offer safety, relief, and a reliable travel marker.
I want the audience to figure out who I was impersonating for that one. I was impersonating someone specific. I do like this part. I was unsure about... The thing about Mosh is, like I said this last time, it's not setting specific, and the thing is, this kind of is and isn't.
It locks you into a very specific world.
But it's not the world that's specific, it's that the mechanics mean that the world you build has to...
Conform.
But the thing is, D&D is like that, because it's got alignment charts, and it's got...
Not anymore.
Well, it had alignment charts and like set NPC, like set monsters and
Yeah.
set gods and things like that. So it's not that different.
But you could like incorporate stuff from this to Mosh. Like you could land on a world that's covered in fog or covered in like something like that.
I think it's more that the world is built out more.
Yeah. It's
Like-
more fleshed out.
Yeah.
What I wanted to do in an episode, now that we can plan for it, is to roll up a town we're starting in, and you guys, all of us, help build the town. Meaning,
Yeah.
mate, because your characters have lived in this town.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how long, but we'll come up with it together. The population, what's its main export, what do you do in the town, things like that. I think it'd be fun to do together,
Yeah, it would be.
rather than just me have to describe where you are and what you interact with.
Insert fantasy Hamlet A here.
Yes. Death. Change to the death music. Page 39. The end of this little episode. Death. Many characters from the folklore you know may exist in the world of Fatherfog. Death is no exception. He is the embodiment of fairness and equality, for none can evade him forever. Whenever you take damage that reduces you to 0 health, you meet death and must roll a body save. Failure. Death takes you away. You die. Your legacy artifact mysteriously appears in the possession of your next character. That's good, because that means they just have it. They just happen to have it, I guess.
I'm sure you could build out some lore around that.
Yeah, we'll play around with that.
Fog bullshit. It's great.
Choose one of Death's gifts for the recently deceased. See below. When your character dies, you begin playing your backup character or quickly create a new one. That's probably what we will do. However, when one of your characters die, you may also choose one benefit from the following list of effects. Consider this a consolation gift from Death. Pick one, John.
Transfer one of your dead character's stats or saves to your new character. Example, Crystal's character dies and is replaced with a new one. Her dead character's strength stat becomes the new character's strength stat. Point 2. Your character's legacy artifact is mysteriously lost and you may roll for a new one. If you do not pick this option, your dead character's artifact is automatically transferred to your new character. Immediately purchase any number of skills, not unnatural abilities, for a cost of 10 maximum hope each, spent from your new character's maximum hope, instead of 5 skill points. As usual, you must already possess at least one of the prerequisite skills, pointing to the desired skill, if applicable.
So Sam, here's an instance where you can have less maximum health.
Hope.
Yep. Less maximum hope.
Makes total sense.
Yeah.
And that is a very cool way of getting, high level, high skill characters into the game.
Yeah. Cool. Success. If you succeed on a body save against death, gain health up to the amount you rolled, Sam, but never more than your maximum health. Here we are again.
Important, yep.
Does this explain the last mechanic a bit better?
No.
No.
I appreciate the consideration, but I know there's a maximum and I know you can't go above it. You spend your maximum hope with that death gifts for the recently deceased, so your maximum can be decreased with a new character. But we're still in the bits of hope
Yes.
conundrum.
Pay death a price. Reference the death table, see page 40, using the number you rolled for your successful body save and pay the result. Example, Durand is reduced to 0 health. Time stops and all seem to disappear. Death approaches and reaches out his hand. Durand rolls a body save. His body save is 32 and he rolls a 12. Death heals him up to 12 health in exchange for one of Duran's organs. I think this will be really cool interactions for roleplay, and the rest of the players at the table will be able to have their one to watch.
This is like part of why this should exist. This RPG, basically.
Yeah, it's a good moment that's implied in many games, but not really singled out, right? Usually, if someone dies in Dungeons and Dragons, you'll have a bit of a scene where they'll get to say something or do a flashback or do that. Whereas this gives you a direct interaction with death itself, which is cool. Andrew.
There the physician saw countless candles of various sizes burning in endless rows. These are the life lights of mankind, said Death. The large ones belong to children, and the little ones to the old. However, even the young people oft have only tiny candles. Death then grabbed a little stump that was just threatening to go out and said, "This is the candle of the princess you unjustly saved." Then Death pointed to the tall candle brightly lit, "And this is your candle, still full of life." "Dear Godfather," said the horrified physician, "light a new one for her so that I can become king and the husband of the beautiful princess." "One must go out before a new one is lighted," said Death. Then he set the girl's insignificant candle atop the tall candle of the physician's. Death's godson immediately fell to the ground, as he too was now in the hands of Death. From Godfather Death.
Hell yeah, dude.
And we move on to the death table. And we have reached the finale of our How to Play episode of Fatherfog.
Next will be our How to Die episode.
Yes.
This is how you die.
No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die.
This is how you die, episode 2 of Trouble in the Deep.
Death table. Death is not demonic or cruel. He is impartial, methodical, and inevitable, moving from cottage to castle without preference. Death cannot be outrun or tricked for long, as he is the custodian of endings and fairness. Unless death is me. When you run out of health, refer to this death table when succeeding your body save. Otherwise, you just flat out die. What if death wants what I don't have? If you cannot pay death the price he demands, you die, and your legacy artifact is mysteriously transferred to your next character. What if you do not want to pay death his demands? You can always refuse death's price and choose to die. Your legacy artifact is mysteriously transferred to your next character. You had a chuckle at the first one. Would you like to read it out? Death's price.
Body save, amount healed 74. Death's price, spontaneous explosion. You appear to be perfectly fine. However, after 10 seconds, you violently explode, covering all around you in your crimson viscera.
73. Dimmed. The beating you took often causes deficits. Reduce your intellect by 10.
210.
210. Wow.
Yeah, 210. 72. Organ failure. You never feel as healthy as before. Lose 1d10 strength every morning.
You will die soon, right?
Yep.
You'll just die within a few days.
Shit, that's every morning. Damn. 71 is your warmth. You feel cold to the touch, and fire offers no comfort. Note this affects your resting options.
Do you notice that it starts at 74? Do you know why this is?
Because the maximum 75.
The maximum of any stat, which is also your health, is 75. You have to roll under to succeed. So it starts at 74.
Also, it says body save. Oh my God.
You're doing
body save / amount healed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So whatever you roll is what you heal.
Yeah. So you roll a 74, you heal, and then
you explode.
Yeah.
Where were we? Warmth. We've done your warmth.
Mm-hmm.
Tremors. Your body trembles evermore. All your rolls are at disadvantage.
Death takes your tongue to use as cat food. You can no longer speak intelligibly.
What about unintelligibly?
Giving it the Sylvester Stallone treatment.
68. Your autonomy. Death will whisper commands
Death
only you
will
can
whisper
hear.
commands you only can hear. You must
Andrew,
obey.
Andrew, I like this part of the game. Shut up. Death will whisper commands only you can hear. You must obey. Note, your guide gives you death's commands. Death commands you to speak like a baby.
67.
Can't read all these. Are we reading all these?
No, we're not reading all of these.
Can we roll down to, I
I
believe
like
it was option...
66.
Yeah, 48, 47.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. One of them is... Scroll. One of them is called Rect Rectum. You can no longer control your bowels.
Andrew, would you like to read that?
You can no longer control your bowels. You will forever reek with perpetually soiled undergarments.
Rectum? You nearly killed him.
Note, acquiring this ailment again means death.
I want
What does
to...
that even mean?
It means that your asshole can only be exploded once. The second time, you die.
I think every time you roll doubles, you cheat. You cheat death.
Yeah.
Go up a bit. There's another one that
Yeah,
says...
every time
All
you roll
doubles
doubles,
are cheat death.
That's
Wow.
sick.
Critical.
That's
critical
fantastic.
success.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Death carves your name into his scythe.
Nice.
That's pretty sick.
55.
I'm death. Straight up.
Scrolling down, we've got a few more. Your face, 43 to 42. Most of your face is torn from your skull. You may want to consider a mask from here forward.
Note, you still have a nose. Cut 28. Nose. Death tears your nose from your face, dulling your sense of smell.
Oh, look at
30
this.
to 20, 30 to 29. Flayed flesh. Your flesh, save your face and scalp, becomes mutilated. Your nudity is now repulsive.
24 to 23, your name. No one remembers your name but you. Those who once knew it feel uneasy around you. Anyone who calls you by your name instantly loses 10 hope and quickly forgets it once more.
Ooh, I like that one. That's
So
gold for a game.
The lower numbers are good or less
Oh, what's 0? Go down?
Rebirth.
rebirth.
Somehow you trick death. You regain all your HP and even all of your hope. Death now hates you. That's the plot of the Final Destination movies.
Oh, and Puss in Boots 3.
Yeah.
If you lose more than 32 teeth, you die.
That's funny. Cheat death? Oh, no, not cheat death. Your reflection, mirrors,
That's
water,
because-
and polished metals no longer show your image. That's cool.
Didn't you know that teeth are actually hit points in real life?
Yeah.
And everyone with no teeth is on 0 hit points.
Well, there you have it. That was the how to play section. We got through it at the end. We got a pretty unhinged there, didn't we?
Ah,
Look,
that's what everyone's here
Look,
for.
we had our fun, but seriously, that death table is just worth the price of admission, man.
It is.
We'll know the true believers that if they reference our unhingedness in the comments.
Comment below if you liked our unhingedness, or comment below to make sure we don't do it again
To
next.
punish us for our insolence.
Comment below if you were able to guess that I was doing an impression of.
You can't say what it is.
So
Now they're
bleep
just going to
it.
comment that.
Bleep
and
it.
be
I
like,
thought that it was Antonio
I'll bleep
Banderas.
it. I'll bleep it. So going back to the finishing on the Fatherfog chapters, I believe I did say we've missed out equipment, melee weapons, defensive gear, ranged weapons, and carry capacity. But we'll look at that maybe next episode. All right?
hell yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Good. We have been Nobody Wake the Bugbear. I have been Andrew the Guide. I've been joined by...
Andrew, not the guide.
Sam, also not the guide.
Stephen, a player.
John.
Just John.
And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Like and subscribe.